Yeah, yeah. Welcome. Bye bye.
Hello, hello. Hi hats.
Yes, I have. There's the symbol.
Symbols, cool.
Yes.
The symbols that like this kit, this is for a recording tomorrow, so there's a whole bunch of like cool sounding kits and stuff. Symbols. We're not gonna bother about the symbols. Generally, you have,
Thumbs.
and these are your toms. Yes, and they sound like toms. Yes.
By the way, I know.
So let's just say 2 fingers. Let's go. Okay. Now, let's
You could
say
even
for
do like.
yeah, for creative purposes, I'm gonna angle the record this side A of the kit. And this is how I think, okay? Like there are different schools of thought. Again, use your ears, do your own research, go mic your own drum kit and see what works for you. This is my school of thought. So you have side A of the drum kit and side B of the drum kit. Obviously, this side is more lesser crowded than this side, but this side contains the snare. Okay, so I'm gonna put it at a height that I think is nice. I think this is a decent height. Let's say. Measuring tape. Do you have measuring? Like if you follow the path, it needs to go towards the center of the snare itself. Think about the center point between the for like again, it depends also where drummers hit. Drummers can be very consistent machines and they always hit like stick and center like this, which is why you'll always see these like marks here. So if I have this is a little stubborn stand, but essentially use this twisting functionality of the stand. Put it in safely, okay? Make sure it's stable and not twist. Faster, safer, no damage to the shock mount, which can be as expensive as the microphone sometimes, especially if it's from a known brand. And voila, safe.
How difficult one?
Really, you have to move it a little bit left or right. And remember that how I point the microphone matters a lot. Okay, so if I decide to point a microphone, I can have the microphone sure at the 12th fret, as people say, but if I point it towards the sound hole, let's start with that. Why don't we just mic the damn sound hole and see how that sounds like? Okay. Position 1 will be 12th fret. Keep it. what we're gonna do is simulate the example of recording a singer-songwriter. Okay? So when we record a singer-songwriter, yes, yes, sir. Okay. When you took it all, you forgot your shadow. You say you wish me well without you. Something about you tells me that you know. Oh, oh. When you took it all, you forgot your shadow. Shadow. When you took it all, you forgot your shadow. Shadow. Hide on your photograph, but I can tell you everything. How long does your memory last? That's not everything. Is it all and getting over you? But it looks like I'm not even trying to. Here along my past, on the walls, with nothing left at you to remind me. So why are you still standing behind me? I'm trying hard to forget you, but the empty walls won't let me let you go. When you took it all, you forgot your shadow. You say you wish me well without you. Something about you tells me that you know. Oh, oh. When you took it all, you forgot your shadow. Your shadow. When you took it all, you forgot your shadow. Your shadow. Your shadow. Oh, oh. Our job is to isolate and make sure that this mic captures his voice as clean as possible. This mic captures the guitar as clean as possible. It's not going to be possible to not get one or the other unless you have like very highly directional mics, which we have other mics that can do the job. This is just an example with two figure eights. Here, the figure eight pattern is pointing here. Maybe not the best ideal place for it. You guys are hearing a lot of boom on the recording, and this is facing to the roof. Same thing, this is facing to the ground, and this one is facing to the mic, but the null points of this microphone are pointing at the guitar. Ideally, what we could have done to better improve this is probably put this here and angle it. Again, you have to test it. When you're recording, you'll generally have a pair of headphones and you can walk around and put the microphone around and see what sounds good as well. But maybe moving it here and pointing it to his mouth would have sounded good. This, moving it here and maybe angling it like this would be good. What I did was I worked around his comfort. He had 1 foot down, he had 1 foot chilling. So my job is also to make sure that I don't maneuver or like ruin his comfort as well. I know that that boom I heard in the recording, I can fix it with a little bit of EQ, right? So together.
It's a pop filter now.
Wait, one second. Let me adjust the microphone first for him. First things first, when if they don't know already, which if you're calling yourself a vocalist, might as well know how to do your role, right? Know your voice, know your parts, all of that. Assuming they come in prepared, first things first, we need the vocalist's chest not to be compressed in any way. So if they're sitting down, you gotta ask them to sit up straight, be able to project their voice. Second, a good room helps. The bigger the room generally, and if it's treated, the better, because they can project and you won't hear their vocals bouncing off the wall and coming back. You can usually hear when vocalists record in a booth, when they go really loud, like they start to belt their vocals, and then you're like, oh bro, that sounds a little weird. Why? Because they're recording in a booth, their voice is hitting the wall and coming back into the microphone. Or when people use these like reflection shields, you would have seen that. Generally, those are a little more problematic than good. I would rather have two acoustic panels that are kept a little further away, deadening the reflection rather than having those. I don't like those. Make your own decisions based on how it sounds, with the mics you have, with the room you have. So Would you like to sit or stand, sir? What do you prefer when singing?
Sitting.
Sitting. Good stuff. Okay, so now, if you don't mind, so that they can see, can you turn,
Yes.
yeah, to a side? And let's mic you along that plane. Okay. Cool. General rule of thumb when recording vocals is you want to keep some distance between the microphone and the singer. If we're recording in cardioid, which we are now recording in cardioid, why? Because we're trying to reject all of this noise in the back. We're trying to reject that hiss of the speaker that we can softly hear in the background. You want to keep at least like an arm's length away from the microphone, but that's not a rule. It really depends on, one, the type of vocals you're trying to get. If the singer is singing intimate parts, you might want them to get closer to the microphone to capture like a little more body, a little more softness, a little more whisperiness in those parts. If they're shouting, you definitely don't want them too close to the microphone. And generally when I record vocals, I do have my finger on a gain or preamp output input so that I can adjust when I know the loud parts are coming. That's a bit too into it. For general recording purposes, you want them a good distance from the microphone. So I would even go a little closer. And do you like to lean, if you could lean into the mic a little bit. Now, second thing is knowing the person and the characteristics of the human voice. Usually the higher you go, obviously what's up here, it's the nose. So they'll tend to sound more nasal, thinner. At the mouth is usually a good, safe betting spot to always go for. So try to align the capsule. You guys saw the capsule yesterday, right? If you can't see the capsule, that's the capsule. This green thing, this microphone really helps in demonstration mode, right? So green thing, I make sure green thing is on axis with the mouth. On axis means? Straight line. There we go. Same line. So either or, they're all on the same axis, and I'm making sure that my microphone is more or less pointing at his mouth and we're in line. You can lean in slightly to the microphone, okay? Pop filter here, it's essentially like a pantyhose, or like, what is that thing called for women? Leggings.
Perfect example.
Leggings. Yeah, so these are like leggings or stockings that are, I mean, it's not really, this is a proper material from a proper brand, but essentially that's what it looks like and that's what it is. It's a breathable piece of fabric, so it's not restricting the airflow that's coming in, but it's stopping intense gusts of wind from your mouth. Specifically P's, B's, yeah? Put your hand, like take your palm, put it in front of your mouth, and then speak any word with P's and B's, strong P's and strong B's, and you'll feel that burst of air hitting your hand. If it's hitting your hand, it's gonna hit the microphone capsule as well. Yeah. So we position it in such a way. Modern microphones, they're designed to have the pop shield not be too close up, but if we're talking old school microphones, their diaphragms were more sensitive. So we generally still keep the same amount of distance, like at least a fist away from the microphone to avoid it. And remember, the thing that stops the artist touching the microphone is the pop filter, right? So they can get as close to the pop filter as they want, doesn't matter. They shouldn't get close to the microphone, okay? So if you're singing softer parts, just remember that. Okay, so now if I lower the microphone to his chest, I'm gonna capture a little more bass. Put your hand to your chest and start speaking. You're gonna start feeling some lower frequencies when you start speaking, like right? So the lower the microphone goes, usually a chestier voice, but you start losing a little bit of clarity. What some people do instead, especially when recording voiceovers and speech, is they will have the microphone lower, like around the chest, and then point it up. Okay? Now, second thing when recording vocals, or another thing when recording vocals, is something called sibilance. When we say S words, or anything with that kind of sound, there's this slight burst of high frequencies that come. Different microphones react differently to these frequencies, so we gotta check on his voice, on this mic, if he has sibilance. If he has sibilance, a good way to reduce it is just on some parts, keep the mic slightly off axis to his mouth. No, you sing straight, okay? And the microphone is pointed at your mouth, but you are singing that way. This will also help if you don't have a pop filter and they're going plosive. They just point it
Off
away.
axis,
You're essentially going to get the same capture,
Go ahead.
but yeah. That's the basics of vocal recording. And just for the sake of it,
मैंने उसे क्यों खो दिया हवा के जाने में चूमता था बेवजह प्यार मेरे लिए क्यों बाकी न रहा ओ हम नवा मेरी तो है तो मेरी सांस चले बता दे कैसे मैं जीऊँगा तेरे बिना ओ हम नवा मेरे तो है तो मेरी सांस चले बता दे कैसे मैं जीऊँगा तेरे बिना